Thank you. How you guys doing? Thank you. So as you can imagine, or you can see, we're going to talk about happiness. So in 1862, a French anatomist by the name of Duchenne de Boulogne found that certain distinct facial muscles were involuntarily engaged by the true feeling of joy. The combination of the zygomatic major muscles, which are your cheek muscles, and the orbicularis oculi muscles, which is just around your eyes, make up the universal sign for happiness, your smile. All over the world, when people are truly happy, they engage these muscles, the muscles of Duchenne's smile. In fact, the connection between Duchenne's smile and happiness is so strong that we can actually run the process in reverse. If we force a Duchenne smile, we actually start to feel happier. You can see for yourself how this works. Everyone's got a tongue blade on their table here. Go ahead and take one of those. They're all clean, don't worry. No one's touched them. Go and put them between your teeth and squeeze. You're going to hold this for about 30 seconds. You know what happens? News anchors use this before they get on stage. It's like, there's a hurricane. Yay. We're all going to die. Yes. You're all good? Let's see. I see a lot of smiles. That muscles, once it's engaged, it's hard for you to bring your smile back down. So, are you happy? Truly happy? I mean, truly happy always. All the luxuries of modern life, all the conveniences, and we still hanker after things. How do we create contentment? So what I'm going to share with you today is my attitude towards life, my attitude towards what I feel deep happiness really is. I've discovered the key to deep happiness is to know this one simple thing. For me, deep happiness ushered in when I truly believed that the result is never mine to give. Now, you may wonder what this means. And I'm going to take the next few minutes to talk about what I mean by the result is never mine to give. This fundamentally transformed my attitude towards life, and as a result, I found deep happiness and freedom. Freedom to create, freedom to live, freedom to innovate, to imagine different possibilities in both my life and in business. Because when we realize that the results are not ours to give, our focus will completely and totally change. My journey began when my father was diagnosed with pulmonary fibrosis a number of years ago. He eventually needed a lung transplant, which ultimately led to severe complications and unfortunately to death. But he was sitting in the hospital room watching my father go through agony and growing weaker and weaker with each passing day. That led me to reassess my notion of reality in the world. I started asking questions like, what is it that creates happiness and sorrow? What causes some to enjoy and others to suffer? And what I found is that happiness can only come from within. We're all given the same world with similar experiences. It's what we do with them that makes us different. This is our inner mind's makeup. So I have a challenge for you today. I want you to think about happiness. And when you think about happiness, what comes to mind? Is it a new house? A car? A vacation? Everybody wants to be on vacation. Relationships? Money? Let me tell you what mine is. I love a hot cup of masala Indian chai in the morning. Every morning I come in, cardamom, ginger, happiness in a cup. I love it. Absolutely love this. brings me joy. 1 cup, happiness in a cup. 2 cups, double the happiness. 3, 4, 10 cups? Oof, maybe not. See, our desire for something else, something more, is often the thing we focus on. And those things are usually outside of ourselves. If I just get that thing over there, I'll be happy. If I just get that thing over there, I'll be even more happy. This is what Maslow's hierarchy of needs and wants tells us. You've probably heard of Maslow's hierarchy. Our most basic needs are physiological, the need for air, water, food, and the basic needs of life. Once your physiological needs are met, we're able to move up to safety and security for our health, job, housing, and family. Then once these are met, we can move up to love and belonging. We find connection through friendship, through our families, through intimacy with the romantic partner, possibly. The problem is that we stop with the first 3. We stop and believe that happiness is tied to our basic needs. And those basic needs turn from necessities into desires. Desires for things we don't necessarily need, but want. And meeting those desires is confused for happiness. Let's think about the role of action in our desires. Why do we act? Action to me is nothing but desire. We do something or take action because we long for something. Our desire for something drives our actions. In fact, we will not take action unless desire drives it. We desire something, so we take action: a car, a home, a vacation, a job, a certain feeling. Action is provoked because of a specific desire. And when we get it, when we get what we want, there's sorrow. Sorrow for more and more and more. Think about why we do crazier and crazier things in our life. Bigger roller coasters, jump out of airplanes, alcoholism, drugs, to fulfill more and more desires. We need bigger and bigger things because nothing is ever enough. Think how incredible our lives are presently. Think. No one in the history of humanity had ever had a hot shower until about 70 years ago every day. Think about that when you took a shower this morning. Think about the caloric intake that we take for granted on a daily basis. Think that we don't have to worry about our children dying in their first year of birth. Think what modern medicine has given us. Think about all the entertainment options that we have. Think. We live like kings and queens. Life has never been objectively better, but subjectively worse. And this sorrow feeds more desire, because we believe that getting that thing, that physical object, will make us feel whole. But true and everlasting happiness eludes us. It always seems so close, yet it's always out of reach. We're searching for true happiness, a final happiness that isn't dependent on our fleeting desires. So let me ask you another question. When was the last time you were disappointed? What were you disappointed about? If I had to guess, you were disappointed about the ending, the result. Why are we so focused on the result? Is it the fear of failure, of not getting what we want? But what if I told you that our focus on the result is exactly what's holding us from achieving what we want most? We're confusing perfect action with the ending. We think that happiness is what comes at the end, not the correct process for getting there. So in our confusion, we equate happiness with pleasure and focus on obtaining those things that give us the most pleasure. The bigger house, the nicer car, the best watches, the best handbags, the nicest shoes. We derive pleasure from the external, and we confuse it with happiness. But we all know that this isn't happiness. This is temporary relief. Yes, it makes us feel good for a few moments, but it's never enough. When we focus on the result, we assume that pleasure will make us happy. What we're really doing is trading the possibility of happiness for instant gratification. What we're really doing is engaging in self-sabotage, because we can never control the result. We don't know what our actions are going to produce. We have to keep in mind that the universe and everything around us was not designed with the comfort of human beings in mind. Natural processes do not take human desires into account. In fact, they're indifferent. Think about a meteorite crashing to DC right now. It's obeying the laws of physics, but it would be devastating to us. Think about a virus killing thousands. It's just doing what it's programmed to do. Crops will not come without rains. The hurricanes, the tornadoes, the floods, the examples are endless. When we expect a specific result to make us happy, when we assume that happiness is what comes at the end, our disappointment is inevitable. That's when self-sabotage really begins. Because we self-sabotage by believing our happiness is tied to the expectation of a specific result, by obtaining a material object outside of ourselves. So let's think about this in a different way. So instead of thinking about a bottom-up Maslow's triangle where our needs lead us to possess the things we want, what if we imagine that triangle upside down? Maslow's hierarchy focuses on our physical needs and wants first, which pertains to something called a materialist first theory, where insentient matter precedes all. What if we stop thinking that a materialist first theory will lead us down to the road of happiness, and instead we replace it with an awareness first model? The prevailing materialist first model says that happiness is through outside matter, through acquisition, through possession, through ownership, through control of things, through relationships, through feelings. It's not our fault for thinking this way. This is the world we live in now. The awareness or consciousness first model, however, says that all there is awareness. And happiness is actually our true nature. And the world is projected within this awareness. That's right. Happiness is not something to be acquired or possessed. It is actually our true nature. We are happiness itself. Then why do we not feel happy? Not fulfilled? Because we're ignorant of our pure awareness nature. We're ignorant of our true infinite self. Scriptures from nearly every religious tradition tell us something similar. They tell us we're made in the image of God. And in this ignorance, we confuse pleasure with happiness. Sometimes we even think that bliss is the same thing as happiness, but it's not. And this ignorance leads to misidentification, where we identify with this finite matter, where in this finite matter our bodies are limited, our thoughts are limited. And the more we focus on our limitations, the more we are bound to our own finitude, where we are our own worst critic. This misidentification is like putting on a pair of glasses that are tinted blue and then telling everyone around you with certainty that the world and reality is blue. And now we're living in that blue world. Our emotions, our thoughts, our feelings are now all colored through the lens of blue. And in the blue world, I'm dumb. I'm helpless. I can't do that and never will. I'm too tired. I'm too old. And then we think our actions will always produce a specific result because we can control the results. We can't. Our true nature is happiness, but our constant misidentification with the finite is what is now and has always been holding us back. We sabotage ourselves and find excuses for why we can't perform. We limit ourselves with self-limiting beliefs. Why? Because we fail to understand this simple truth that the result is not mine to give. It never was. I can't control the ending. If something works out, if I get that promotion, we're looking for happiness in the finite objects of this world. Finite cannot produce infinite, no matter how many finites you put together. Finite can only produce brief moments of respite and pleasure from our mundane world. This is what it's like to live in a world where everything we think and experience is filtered through blue lenses. But what if we were to imagine a world and see reality for what it truly is and break away from this blue world? A world where we're all exceptional. A world where we can see incredible possibilities not only in ourselves, but in everyone around us. What I've been capable of after pushing self-limiting beliefs and self-sabotage aside has surprised even me. This is the world I live in daily. It is the reason why I think the way I do. Why I'm able to see and do what others only see as impossible or a waste of time. Because the belief that something is impossible is the most debilitating form of self-sabotage I've ever experienced. And it has ramifications for every part of your life. For example, I may have a belief that it's impossible to do full mouth implants, that it's impossible for me to have a totally digital workflow, that it's impossible for me to do over $300,000 a month, that it's impossible for me to have an AI startup. These are just beliefs. And these beliefs determine your standards for what you're willing to tolerate. If we believe that something is impossible, it will change our standards for what is and is not good, for what is and is not success. Our beliefs determine our standards, and our standards change everything. Are you okay with poor standards? If you are, you'll do a poor job at work. You'll do a poor job with your kids, and you'll probably do a poor job with your finances. Maybe you're not okay with poor standards, and you want to work on having good standards. Now, this is a giant leap forward. Most of us have been taught to be good. Be a good friend. Be a good worker. Be a good parent. Be a good kid. But being good doesn't get us good results. Believe it or not, they still lead to poor results. The results that we're looking for don't happen until we are exceptional. So, what is required here? Not only hard work, but a fundamental mental shift is required here. It is the notion that the results are not and have never been ours to give. Only work for work's sakes without any encumbrances or failure and self-sabotage for the want for a specific end. Only with this attitude can we unlock our true potential and rise to greatness. So, how does one do this? Yes, now you know that deep happiness comes from within. That we engage in self-sabotage through self-limiting beliefs that prevent us from doing more than we thought possible. That it's about the process, not the result. So how do we do this? What has worked for me in the past, or now, is to find my flow. Now, you may be thinking, now he's talking about finding my flow? Thankfully, finding your flow isn't a journey to the depths of the ocean. Instead, finding your flow is about stretching yourself. It's about challenging yourself, about creating optimal experiences. Optimal experiences aren't passive or relaxing. They tend to occur when a person's mind and body are stretched to the limits in order to accomplish something difficult, something worthwhile. Many of the audience know that about 3.5 years ago, I severed a couple of my fingers off. I was cleaning a wine cooling unit, forgot to unplug it, and there went the fan, and there went my fingers. And I wasn't able to do clinical dentistry for about 4 months. Now, severing my fingers was not an optimal experience because it wasn't voluntary. But what happened afterwards was voluntary. I trained Dr. Muhammad over there to do the surgeries that I could no longer do. My mind and body were stretched to the limits, and I refused to give in to all the beliefs that would limit what my team and I are capable of. I remember him asking me that I had 6 arches of full arch implants to do this upcoming weekend. Who's going to do them? I told him he was. Oh, I remember the look on his face. He said, but I've only done 40 implants, ever. And that week, with me standing right next to him, he did over 6 arches of full mouth implants and immediate load prosthetics. See, it wasn't about me, but it was about me giving him the tools that he needed to be better. He has the power of unlimited potential because he wasn't thinking about failure. He wasn't thinking about the result. He dove in and did what was necessary to be done at that moment, no matter what. From his observations of these optimal experiences, Dr. Mihai Csikszentmihalyi developed what is known as flow theory. Flow is a positive mental state where you are completely and utterly absorbed. Your focus is so intense that it requires all of you. Your mind isn't wandering. You aren't thinking about other things. You're totally and completely focused on the task at hand, but your body feels good. You tune out all the other noises. You're cut off from the world. You aren't thinking about your problems. It's like the roof could fall on your head and you won't even notice it. But also notice how your ego is gone. You aren't thinking about all the great things that people are going to say once you're done. Time flies. Every thought and action is committed to the task in front of you. You are in the flow. Has anyone ever felt like this before? Now, Jenny, my hygienist, she came with the walls and tools of the office when I took over. She's been with me since the beginning. And to deal with me, she's got to be in her flow every single day. But joking aside, I know Jenny is really in the flow when she's with her patients. Time's definitely not a thing as she immerses herself into her work and her beloved patients. Now, poor Claudia, our area manager, has to always be in the flow with me. I throw everything at her, and somehow she gets it done. In fact, she challenges me on a daily basis to improve. I can say that about every single member of my teams. Thank you for pushing yourselves, and more importantly, me. This is flow. The first step to creating our flow is to challenge ourselves beyond our ability, yes. Beyond what we think we're capable of. When we are stretched, we begin to create. Take this talk, for example. It stretches me every time I do a talk like this, putting it together, refining it, practicing some more, and standing on this stage. Notice that the challenge level and skill level matter quite a bit. On one hand, if it's too high of a challenge and not enough skill, it creates anxiety. While on the other hand, if it's too low of a challenge and not enough skill, we're bored. The second step to creating our flow is that we must remove the thought that we can control the result. We must commit to doing this thing in front of us as well as we can, no matter what. There is no giving up. So what stops us from challenging ourselves? Is it self-sabotage? When we play that that's not possible or what-if games, we will never challenge ourselves. We will only do what's comfortable and convenient. We're thinking about failure. We're thinking about the result. And thinking about the result will stop our flow right in its tracks. We need to turn off the what-ifs. The result does not matter at all. It's the challenge and stretching ourselves that brings deep happiness. Because it's only when we're committed to challenging ourselves that we put ourselves in a position to achieve anything. The issue is between our ears. The issue is that we're self-sabotaging for no other reason that we haven't done that before, or someone else could do it better than me. But flow says just go with it. Just do it and enjoy the challenge because the result doesn't matter. It's not ours to give. But to find our flow requires that we change our notion about this reality. To know that we are happiness, happiness that comes from within. Because when we know that we're happiness itself, we will strip away all the limiting beliefs that stop us from believing that we're capable of great things. And here's the incredible thing about flow. It's not about the result. It's not about what happens after you're in the flow. It's about being in the flow. Challenging yourself by using your skills, putting yourselves and finding purpose and meaning in the process. Because happiness allows you to find your flow, and your flow brings innovation and creativity. That gives you purpose. But the purpose isn't in the result. Purpose is in the doing. It's in the process. So when I say the result isn't mine to give, what I mean is that I can't control the result. I can only find my flow and commit to it. And what happens? Happens. When we focus on a specific result outside of ourselves, we will always be disappointed. You'll think, I'll be happy when my practice reaches 2 million patients. I'll be happy when I can afford to buy those shoes, that car, that house, that vacation, that whatever you want. I'll be happy when the Lightwave regional manager thinks I'm the greatest ever. This type of happiness may last a month, but it's not sustainable, and you'll be searching for the next great thing. The truth is, we don't find happiness. We are happiness. So, can I ask you something? Well, actually, I forgot about this quote that I had. Carl Jung, everybody knows who Carl Jung is? He's an incredible psychologist. And he always talked about mind over matter, about consciousness over all else, about awareness over all else. When your visions will become clear only when you look into your own heart. Who looks outside dreams. Who looks inside awakens to the infinite possibilities that we're capable of. So I ask you, can you give your all every day and simply focus on the process instead of the end results? Because when you make this mental switch, the world inside here and all the people and relationships around you will feel your happiness. And you, my friends, will find your flow and live with greater purpose. Don't forget your chopsticks. Thank you. Appreciate it.
Incredible, dude. Hell yeah. Let's give it up for Shreyesh Ruparelia. Oh my goodness, guys. I always come out and sneak back here and just watch the presence and the audience and how everybody is doing. I'm holding Shreyesh out here for a reason, but guys, the results are never ours to give, seriously. And Shreyesh, if you don't mind me asking while we're pulling this up, you and I had a conversation at your house just a couple weeks ago, right? Your beautiful wife welcomed me. By the way, she didn't know I was coming.
No.
I literally turned the corner and walked in.
She was pretty pissed off.
Yeah. Thank God she was, dressed. Yeah, that was very, very nice of her. But from that perspective, you and I had a conversation downstairs, and you were talking about kind of the end of last year, right? Where I'm going to put you on the spot, where you might have lost your flow just a little bit.
Agreed. And I think that was a big part of that. And so, I'm going to talk about all the partners or something else. We've achieved a lot. We've done a lot in life. And then what's the next thing? Are you always going after the next thing, the next thing? And I think I know my focus went external versus coming back internal.
Yeah.
And I remember my wife said, I think you need to talk to somebody. And I did. It was phenomenal. And said, hang on, let's refocus this. And it was a rules conversation. I have certain rules, and let's rewrite those rules. Right? And that's where it came in from and said, what do you mean you can't do something? And let's just kind of shake yourself and go have lunches and dinners with other friends. Let's reinvigorate this. Because what we think about is that we are on a one track. Since middle school, we've done science. High school, we did science. Undergrad, you did a chemistry or biochemistry. I don't know, some of you guys got some other degrees. But then we did dentistry. And it's the only thing we know. And I'm not saying leave dentistry, but use your other skills to be able to come back into and use and help Lightwave as a greater community out as well. And I think that's where we need to refocus on at this point.
I love it.
Yeah.
And Shreyesh dropped also, you guys might have heard, I can't start my own AI startup, right? And we want to do a quick little live demo here. So why don't you walk us through kind of one of your little side things that could possibly transform this entire room.
Let's do it. Let me get I'm going to do a live call on stage, actually.
Ooh,
let me get my phone.
Gosh, third voice, kind of cool. We're going to grab a handheld also. Do you have a handheld for us?
Oh, my God. This is going to be fun. So I challenged my engineers that we're going to do this live.
Do we have mic on here?
It's going to be good.
All right.
So artificial intelligence, everybody's heard of AI. It's going to be transforming our lives. If it's not already, you bet it's going to be coming. We've been talking about a little bit of that in dentistry and how to bring things up. As far as you're dealing with the radiograph stuff and a lot of other deals.
Pro AI, right?
Pro
We've got
AI.
it going 6 pilot offices right now, and it's coming soon.
Nice.
Yes.
I love it. So AI. So dental clinics are facing new challenges, and we, as Third Voice, aim to play a leading role in solving our shared problems. So the revolution of dental clinics with the world's most engaging voice AI, Third Voice. I'm going to call Ava right now, and let's see what she does.
Guys, this is another pivot, so we don't know what the hell's about to happen.
This is Ava from Third Voice team. How can I help you today?
Hi, Ava. How are you doing today? You sound lovely.
Hi there. Thank you so much for the compliment. I'm doing great, and I hope you are too. Who do I have the pleasure of speaking with?
My name is Clifton Cameron.
Thank you so much, Clifton. I'm an AI representative of Third Voice, here to assist with any questions you might have about our platform. Do you have specific questions, or would you like to hear about the key features of Third Voice?
Yeah, what is this Third Voice thing? Tell me about it.
Well, Clifton, Third Voice is an AI-powered appointment scheduling system specifically designed for dental clinics. It integrates smoothly with major dental practice management systems, like Open Dental, Tab 32, Dentrix, and SoftDent. Essentially, it automates the entire appointment booking process, making life easier for both the clinic staff and the patients. For instance, whether it's booking, rescheduling, or cancellations, Third Voice handles it all efficiently. It also keeps everything in sync with your dental PMS in real time, so patient information and appointment data are always up to date. Plus, it offers valuable insights into your clinic's performance through a user-friendly dashboard. By taking care of scheduling, Third Voice allows your staff to focus more on patient care, which means happier patients and better retention. And you won't miss any opportunities, as Third Voice can manage calls even when your clinic is closed. Would you be interested in seeing a demo of how the appointment booking feature works?
Ava, that seems like a dream come true.
I'm glad to hear that, Clifton. It really does simplify things for dental clinics. Would you like me to connect you with a team member for a demo of the appointment booking capabilities?
But I like the manual way.
I totally get that, Clifton. Sometimes the traditional ways feel more comfortable. However, if you ever feel like exploring how Third Voice could save you time and streamline your scheduling, would you be open to a callback from our team?
Well,
They can answer any questions you might.
Ava, let's do a live demo right now.
Transferring the call to Linda. Hi, Hi, this is Linda. I'd love to walk you through a demo of our appointment booking system. Shall we get started?
Let's do it, Linda. You sound lovely today.
Thank you so much. Great. Who do I have the pleasure of speaking with?
My name is Justin Jory.
Thank you so much, Justin. What's the best number to reach you?
My phone number is 703-444-5095.
Thank you for sharing your phone number, Justin. Would you like to schedule a hygiene appointment or a consultation with the doctor?
You know, I'll take a hygiene appointment. I haven't had my teeth cleaned in a while.
Let's schedule your hygiene appointment. What is your availability? Which day works best for you?
You know, I kind of like Sunday mornings.
Well, our office is open from Monday to Saturday. How about a Saturday morning instead?
You know what? I can do a Saturday morning. What time do you have available?
Perfect. We can schedule you for Saturday morning at 9 a.m. Does that work for you?
No. That's too early. Let's do a little later.
No problem at all. How about 11 a.m. on Saturday morning?
I can do that. Yeah.
Great. So we have you booked for a hygiene appointment on Saturday at 11 a.m. You'll receive all the details on your phone number shortly. Do you have any further questions?
Yeah. Who am I going to see?
You'll be seeing Dr. Shreyesh Ruparelia, our specialist in dental implants. He's fantastic. Anything else I can help you with?
But I'm coming for a hygiene appointment. Who's the hygienist I'm going to see?
My apologies for that. You'll be seeing one of our excellent dental hygienists. Their name will be confirmed in the appointment details sent to your phone. Anything else I can assist you with?
I'm really anxious.
I understand, Justin. It's totally normal to feel a bit anxious. Our team is very friendly and will make sure you're as comfortable as possible. Anything else you'd like to know or discuss?
And then are you going to be there greeting me?
I wish I could be there in person, but I'm just a voice on the phone. However, our wonderful front desk team will be there to greet you and make sure you feel welcome. Anything else I can help with?
No, you've been great. I really appreciate it, Linda. Thank you so much.
You're very welcome, Justin. We're looking forward to seeing you on Saturday at 11 a.m. Have a great day.
You too. Thank you.
Give it up for what flow looks like right there. Nice work, dude. Thank you so much.
Thanks, man.
That's awesome.
It was awesome.
That's
So
awesome.
we're still optimizing her. We've kind of opened her up a little bit. We kind of opened her up to some other things, that she's sexy and have fun, and well, we can't say that on here. Well, I just did. So we envision a better future by combining practice insights and advanced voice AI and analytics. Missed appointments, we know, range from 10 to 30%, probably more sometimes for a dental practice, could mean at least $50,000 to $100,000 in lost revenue monthly. Cost of manual scheduling, practices spend 20 to 25% of their time at admin staffs like things like scheduling. Automating this with AI can save significant time and resources, translating to further cost savings and increased revenue. Patients have expectations. They expect convenience. They expect efficiency, they expect personalization, but they also expect 24/7 service, and they expect experiences. Our innovation is to improve revenue and reduce costs, enhance patient experiences, and enable operational excellence. How do we implement this? Design, we have a branded voice. You don't like Ava? We create Justin. Create him, whatever you want. Call them what you want to call them. Scripts, personality, engages users to resolve inquiries and schedules. We integrate seamlessly into your existing practice management systems and deploy that. Forward calls to your AI agent. Your agent can handle all the calls with care and efficiency of a real person. They ask me, how many? Infinite. You want to answer 100 phone calls at the exact same time? We can do that. It's not an individual person. This is just talking. Tune your multilingual agents that continuously learns and experiences and delivers personalized experiences. What's coming up for us? We're working on voice biometrics. If Justin calls, we know that Justin's calling, and voice will talk to Justin the way he wants to be talked at. We can get into that. Agent integration, voice analytics. From the voice, we have Google reviews, but from the voice, as you're talking to me, I can think about how you feel about me right now. I can put that in and give you what that went like, how that experience was. This is honing in on the voices and the words they're using and the enunciations. That's what we're working on right now. Mobile integration, what we see this as every practice has their own mobile app, and in that mobile app, your specific voice AI is in there. That's available to you 24/7 to do whatever you want to do. You can call, you can use the app, you can use emails and web and whatever you want to do. So omni-channel AI agents enhance customer experiences and multi-language. You start speaking Spanish, it'll start speaking Spanish to you. You want to start Italian, it'll speak Italian to you. You want to start speaking something, go for it. Whatever you want to do, we can do. That's the power of this stuff. And then dental practice coach is something that we're looking at probably closer to the end of 2025. How do we use this data that we've collected, all this information that we have, and how can we do this to improve things? Where AI itself, it says, maybe let's try a couple of these things out. The revolution of clinics is here with the world's most engaging voice AI platform. Thank you.